Welcome back. We've got about 10 minutes, give or take, until the toss in Abu Dhabi between the game between Australia and West Indies. Key day for the West Indies. You know, Javed is on tenterhooks to see if the West Indies can finally produce something that matches their glorious history. But the toss will come in about 10 minutes. We're going to have a quick look at, again, some of the key players between now and the start of play. Starting with the Australian team this time, their captain, Aaron Finch, has been a key figure in their resurgence because building up this World T20, they had a bit of a tough time. Actually, in this World T20, so far they won their first 3 games comfortably enough. They lost to England by 8 wickets. Good performance there. That's quite a close game. And they've got West Indies, they've got West Indies here today as well. So they have got good form. They need to win today, Australia, to give themselves a good chance, of course, of being in the semi-finals. As I say, their captain, Aaron Finch, is a key man, both as a leader and as a man who's found form. Prior to this competition, he'd been injured, he'd been rested, he'd been out of form. But at the top of the order, he is a vital component, Sana.
Yeah. And because he's power and he's quite low in his stance. He's not like a lot of West Indies, New Zealand players who will stand very tall. And because his stance is quite low, he's been doing well so far. Rashid bhai, अगर आप इनके wagon wheel के ऊपर भी बात करें और overall जो इनकी shot selection है,
एक heavy length होती है ना, एक heavy bat है इसके पास, heavy bat से खेलता है ना, कोई doubt नहीं है इसकी batting के ऊपर. Strike rate देखें, 51 and 26 ball against West Indies. Impressive player है और ये पूरे World Cup में next जितने ही matches हैं, ये अगर टॉप पे रन करते हैं, जैसे इंडियन बैटिंग है 3 बैट्समैन के ऊपर मेनली डिपेंड करती है, विराट कोहली, रोहित एंड केएल राहुल. सेम ऑस्ट्रेलिया, वार्नर, स्मिथ एंड फिंच, इनके ऊपर डिपेंड करती है. तो जितना भी इन्होंने खेला इस वर्ल्ड कप में एज ए लीडर, एज ए कैप्टन जो खेल रहे हैं, तो इनका भी बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होगा डेफिनेटली. So Finch will have a very important role. Like Indian batters, in Indian batting line, it depends on 3 players. Similarly, Australia depends on Aaron Finch, David Warner, Steve Smith. It's quite strange that Maxwell's name doesn't come to mind when you are talking about reliability. Yes, he's impact player, but by now in his career, he would want, and Australia would want, more reliability from him also.
Well, there are expressions, I mean, leopards never change their spots, that sort of thing, where if you look at Glenn Maxwell in all cricket, so you include Australian cricket, you include IPL, where he's been a regular for many years now, you include this tournament. Well, in this tournament alone, he's hardly done anything with the bat. A couple of big shots, and that's it. But all his other cricket, he's the same. Every now and again he comes to the party, to use that horrible cliche, and suddenly hits 60 from 30 balls. But it can be a long wait, so he's running out of time. Vivian.
No, today he could start against a team that haven't really played that well in the tournament so far. But what I've always noticed about Glenn Maxwell is the fact that he's a hit or miss sort of individual. You're never quite sure what you're going to get from him. When you do get some substance out of him, it's real substance. But he's quite vulnerable pretty early up. And if he doesn't get going, then we will see the worst of Glenn Maxwell.
well, you won't see anything. That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's the trouble. Yes, you've got the chance to attack the big stage, and if you have one of those sort of proper Glenn Maxwell days, that's where his reputation comes from.
This is how you make a good team, because you have 3 players. I mean, Warner used to be a risk factor, but now over the years, now he started quietly look at the ball and playing some normal shots. Finch and Smith. With these kind of batters, you need somebody like Maxwell. Stones, risk factor is there, but this is how you score big runs. So I think Maxwell is actually balancing the Australian team, because few overs at the top, he's a great fielder, and he can change the gear of any situation. He's an impact player. So you need a few like that, but this is how we discussed that you don't need 4 Maxwell's in Australian team. The West Indian has like 4 Warners in the final 11. Yeah. So you can have one guy utility player, can change the gears in batting, bring some quality wicket-taking option at the top. So
Of course, you
Fit in well.
you need him, and these impact players are key players in T20 teams. What we are saying is that he has not delivered. He has not had that impact within the Australian team. You remember the match against South Africa, where there was no need to play a reverse switch at that point. Lost an early wicket, and the match became very close to what they would have liked. So of course we need these impact players, but what the discussion we are saying that he needs to perform now before the knockout stages.
When is a Glenn Maxwell day? It is a Glenn Maxwell day.
Yeah.
You never know. I think I did use the phrase earlier, sometime during our program in the past. He is an enigma. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. But when you get something from him, we all enjoy, and cricket fans quite appreciate that.
Yeah, enigma is not normally a compliment. I mean, it's that air of unpredictability. It's that lack of consistency, which
Fair enough, yeah.
frustrates. I mean, you look at a Glenn Maxwell and you say, on his day, he can be entertaining, effective, all the things you want. But if you're a supporter of Glenn Maxwell, most of the time you're going, oh dear, not again. You know,
And that's what's happening to us because we
had
want fireworks from him.
When I was part of the mentorship team of the Big Bash, yes, we had many times like that, where you would think, wow. But when he delivers, then
delivers
it's
big.
like, well, thank God.
he's the kind of player, he doesn't care what situation demands. He will play his game on his own way. When you need a runner ball, he'll go for switch it.
He's a Shahid Afridi.
But that's where, okay, if you're being a perfectionist, that's where that sort of player can learn. And what you normally hope is, I'm going to use David Warner as an example. David Warner, who started his career as a smasher of a ball and learnt, for instance, how to play test matches, so he got hundreds in test matches quickly, then became a very good, and he averaged, late 40s, I think, in test matches, despite a few poor runs recently. So you can add to your game, get better, get more consistent, and be better. And then worry about a Glenn Maxwell. If he's not getting better, he's not thinking about it. That would be my point. If he's not working out how to get better, he's not really doing
that's-
But you
himself
see
any
the
favors.
same old stuff over and over again
Yeah.
from Glenn, you know, and
Yeah.
I quite take your reference there to how he plays. That you need to improve at some point. Obviously, have respect for the situation of the game. Sometimes he doesn't quite bring that when it's necessary.
Yeah, that's a very important point. एक और चीज़ जो बड़ी ज़रूरी है उमर भाई टॉस का फैक्टर. ऑस्ट्रेलिया obviously रन रेट वगैरह को ज़्यादा नहीं सोच रहा होगा, अभी तो सोच रहा होगा कि उन्होंने ये मैच जीतना है. पर क्या समझते हैं अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया आज ये टॉस जीतता है, वो क्या करना चाहेगा in these circumstances, और वो किस तरह इस टॉस को लेगा, क्योंकि हमने देखा है टॉस काफ़ी important रोल प्ले किया अब तक.
बिल्कुल जिस तरह की पिच रिपोर्ट से पता चल रहा है कि थोड़ा सा वो है उस पर मुश्किल अर्ली ऑन मुश्किल है, लेकिन जिस तरह ऑस्ट्रेलियन बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं तो नो डाउट कि वो टॉस जीत के बॉलिंग ही करेंगे, और फिर ऑन द बोर्ड उनके लिए एक चांस होगा कि वो उसको कितनी जल्दी चेस कर रहे हैं और अपने रन रेट को कितना बेहतर कर रहे हैं. डिपेंड करता है उनके अपने मैच पे. अगर ये मैच जीते हैं तो ऑफ कोर्स वो पहले तो मैच जीतने की कोशिश करेंगे और साथ ही रन रेट को भी. फिर जो नेक्स्ट मैच है साउथ अफ्रीका का, अगर वहाँ पे साउथ अफ्रीका हारता है इंग्लैंड से तो फिर तो ऑफ कोर्स उनका रन रेट ऑटोमेटिकली नीचे आ जाएगा और फिर चांसेस है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के. लेकिन पहले ये लोग आज जो टॉस होगा तो मेरे ख्याल से बॉलिंग करेंगे.
राशिद भाई, आप भी यही समझते हैं कि इसी तरीके से ये करना चाहेंगे?
बिल्कुल, वेस्ट इंडीज़ का एक ही चांस है कि दूसरी बैटिंग करके ये मैच जीत सकते हैं, क्योंकि प्ले क्वालिटी भी इंडिविजुअल्स तो हैं इनके पास. लुइस हो जाए, पूरन हो जाए, हिटमायर, मे बी क्रिस गेल, मे बी, लेकिन ये है कि ये कर सकते हैं और पास में ये कर चुके हैं कि अपनी प्राइड के लिए खेलेंगे. लास्ट मैच है एक तरह से, और ये पॉसिबिलिटी देंगे टॉस जीत के. ऑस्ट्रेलिया चेज करना चाहेगा मेरे ख्याल से.
And the overall consensus is that Australia might want to chase and put West Indies into bat if they win the toss.
I would agree. I mean, I think looking at the way those games have gone recently and throughout most of the last 2 or 3 weeks, That's been the course of action. And similarly, as I think you've just said anyway, the Australians would like to know what they're going to chase. And the other thing is I would like to put West Indies under pressure early with the ball, because I think Australia's new ball attack is very strong. So that could be, that could set the tone for the game yet again if that new ball works for Australia bowling first. And that will be my tactic.
Well, the West Indies can look at it this way. There's not much pressure for them to qualify at this stage. The mind should be a little bit more freer, David. It's an opportunity. They should be a little bit more relaxed, in my opinion, for them to exhibit. And I believe we're going to see a good show from the guys today. And it will just give this indication that what could have been.
If likewise, if West Indies were to win the toss, what's their best option?
Best option
chasing again, I guess.
To put the Aussies in. If you bring O'Shane Thomas in and you have wicket-taking opportunities, then but if you're going to stick to the same team that you would have seen earlier, bat first.
Whatever. Okay, so
What do you think? I mean, look, let's discuss what is the weaker part of West Indies, the batting or bowling?
At the moment, both.
At the moment,
hard
both,
to
but
tell.
Both, but what is...
Bowling.
Okay,
Bowling.
Enough.
You
Enough.
reckon?
Bus. Because enough discussion. Enough discussion. Sorry, we have to go to the ground. We have to go to Abu Dhabi for the toss.
Chance to get through to those semi-finals. As I say, it's gorgeous here, lot to play for, particularly for Australia. West Indies looking to finish on a high. Let's join the two skippers there in the middle with Mark Nicholas.
Yeah, we're at the sharp end. The Australians with a place in the semi-finals at stake. Javed Srinath is the match referee. Karen Pollard and Aaron Finch are out here, and Aaron Finch has the coin.
We'll have a ball, mate.
As is the routine, I think, from captains in this tournament now.
Yeah, again, it looks like a really good wicket. I don't think it'll change at all throughout the 40 overs. So, yeah, try and do some early damage with the ball.
You just like bowling first. It's a rhythm you've got into.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think it matters. I think if you're going to win the tournament, you have to win both ways. So, but on this surface, if there's any kind of moisture in it, it'll be first up.
And today, do you keep your eye on run rate while trying to win the game, or is run rate a leading thought for you?
No, not one bit. We don't think about that whatsoever. We come here to try and take 2 points, that's all.
Okay, and your team?
Same team.
And it's going well.
Yeah, it's going nicely.
Have a good day.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Good luck, pal.
Very interesting for you because you've got some fabulous cricketers who could be saying goodbye to the T20 game. We've already heard from Dwayne Bravo. In a way, is this a last hurrah?
Obviously these guys, all of us have done over the last decade or so for T20 cricket, just amazing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't get that one last hurrah in terms of, getting through to the next phase of the tournament. But I think today is another opportunity for us to play a cricket game, and it's going to be emotional for some. But I think the main important thing for us is try to win a cricket game and see if we can, salvage, something from it.
Yeah. Are you aware of the situation regards the rankings and qualification for next year's tournament?
Yeah, we are aware of all aspects. Everything is in the back of our mind. We are aware about what run rates needed. We are aware about everything that's going on. But I think all that counts to nothing if we're actually not winning cricket games on the cricket field. So for us, it's about that.
You got one change?
Yeah, one change. Like spinner comes in, Hayden Walsh, Ravi Rampal, missing out.
Hayden's got a good record against the Aussies, hasn't he?
Let's see if he can, replicate what he did in Caribbean.
Okay, thanks for your time, Karen. So just to explain that, okay, West Indies need to win today, so they get into 8 slots, so they qualify automatically for the next ICC T20 World Cup. That's why that's important. The news here today is that Aaron Finch